We certainly hope that that almost hour-long walk
pick up their center.
Good attacking position for the Bajans here. Let's see what they have.
First line up for the day. We'll see how well they can handle the wet ball in the air.
You're just picking up matches.
Not the cleanest take, but still secured by Barbados.
Or maybe here.
As they set the rock.
Cayman forwards are definitely looking very aggressive and very intent on turning over the ball every opportunity they get.
Barbados making small strides forward, but strides nonetheless. As they pick up go again.
Is the need for in these conditions when you get into close contact, keeping that ball close to your chest, I felt he was a bit fortunate to get it back, but nevertheless, they're on with the kick.
Barbados showing from early that they're keen to move the ball through their hands and use the offloads and tackle, regardless of the wet conditions.
Yes, I agree, and it certainly looks like if it comes to a foot race, they seem to have the guys to take them for the sprint.
As we set here now, number 15 for Barbados to take the kick.
It's Destin Caddy again. And it's gone just wide.
We see that teams opting to take the early 3 points as opposed to going for the 5-pointers. Nicholas, what do you think is going through their minds at this point?
I think they just really want to get some points on the board, settle the team down, and then really try to get into their rhythm. You would know as a current player yourself, you know, that always helps when you have points on the board. It gives you that peace of mind, it helps you to settle down. And we're off again.
The high kick to the left part of the field. Recovered by Barbados. Oh, well driven through there. And Cayman have turned the ball over. However, they've knocked it on in doing so.
Again, good intent by the Cayman Islanders. Again, as I mentioned before, they seem very intent on turning over the ball at every opportunity. They have some big, apparently strong forwards, and they're using that to their advantage, and very well I might add at this point.
I must agree with you there, Nicholas, because they seem to be counter-rocking at every chance they get and going against the head at every scrum.
Makes me wonder though, why the Bajans don't look for the quicker balls out wide, show what talent they have on the outside.
I'm sure that's the message the coach will be trying to get out of them at this point, Nicholas.
So we're here again at the Hazley Crawford Stadium in Trinidad and Tobago. Lovely conditions. I don't know what sort of conditions you prefer to play in, Felician.
I prefer the wet ground because it's a lot softer to fall on.
Oh yeah, definitely. I relished a wet day of rugby.
However, it does make the handling a bit more difficult.
Well.
And the ball is out. It's a switch there by the number 10 and 12. But they seem to have lost it in contact. Yeah. It's a knock on there. Advantage to the Cayman. The ball comes out again. Cayman seem content to bang it up in the short spaces.
The Bajan forwards certainly need to get there, get to the breakdowns a lot faster if they intend on taking the ball up. Their number 9 and 10 seem a bit too small to deal with that sort of physicality. So he really needs to be looking to put it onto some of the bigger guys, take it up and then recycle a lot faster.
I do agree, Nicholas, I do agree. Cayman again opting for the kick. So Colin Flynn will have a second chance to try and put his team in front with 3 points.
And let's see if your advice was passed on to him. Again, good form.
Seems very composed at this point. Another clean strike. And he's successful this time.
So 3-0 to Cayman Islands.
Barbados will need to be careful with the way that Colin is kicking, because if they continue to concede penalties in that part of the field, he'll certainly look to convert.
Oh yes, definitely, Felician. These are the kind of games that you expect to be a real physical encounter, and sometimes it turns out to be a kicking game that goes just 3 points until it's all over.
Another lovely kick here. Oh, it's tackled directly into touch. Great chase there by the Barbados team.
I remind you again that the referee is Mr. Michael Jones of Canada. Seems to have a very good handle on the game thus far.
He's been spot on with all his calls thus far, Nicholas. Let's hope he continues to control the game.
And I think also at this under-19 level, you need to ensure that the discipline is there. And so far, he's definitely done that.
Ball going wide. Barbados returns a kick.
The mark is called. And Felician, again, this is what I'm talking about, the reaction time. In my opinion, allowing the opposition time to think and settle and reorganize, you know, you sort of lose your advantage.
It's true, but I think it was a good option to take the mark here just to settle the boys down as he goes for touch. And he's not successful.
It's gone over the head of the winger.
And then trickles into touch.
So again, another good position for the Cayman Islanders.
They're going to keep the pressure on Barbados here and hope that they can force an error. Maybe a knock-on or a turnover at a rock.
And in fact, Felician, I'd bet some money that the forwards are going to be very involved in this position here.
I do think Cayman is going to compete at the line out and hope to steal the ball. Ball goes.
And they've done. Okay, and the ball is on the Cayman side. But the counter rock by Barbados.
The ref allowing for continuity of the play. Cayman driving it forward, slowly but surely. Barbados counter-rocking.
Good aggression by the Bajans, defending their goal line.
Oh, that's a high tackle there.
Advantage being played.
Bajans need to be careful here. They have the numbers out wide in this Cayman team. If you can find it. Oh, and he cuts back in.
Certainly needed to take a step back in there.
Do you think that the player held it on a bit too long there, Nicholas?
I think he did, but it really started from the number 10, where he ran across and sort of closed down his space.
Colin Flynn taking it forward here. The ball is out.
And the Bajans are on it.
And the ref brings it back to the first infringement, which was the high tackle. The Cayman seems set to run the ball. They seem to have some form of set play from here.
And it's number 1, Oscar Treadway-Hoyt, taking it up strong.
Right, the ref stops time. He's going to have a talk here with the Bajan players. He calls the captain in.
Yes, Felician, again the referee getting things back under control.
And as you said before, Nicholas, discipline being a key factor here at this age level to ensure that as they go forward, they don't lose this key principle of the game. The referee is taking charge and ensuring that the game does not get out of control.
Oh yeah, very important.
See, we have a change in kickers here. Seems that Michael Peck will be taking this one.
Just a little reminder of the score. It's 3-0 to Cayman Island.
Cayman Island doing well to ensure that every time they enter the Barbados have to leave with points.
And they do so again. 6-0 to Cayman Islands.
I will say, Nicholas, 3 points every time will always add up in the end.
Oh, yes. Slow and steady wins the race.
Barbados may want to change their approach to dealing with the Cayman Islanders at the breakdown. They seem to be. It's a great kick again.
The Bajan number 8 making his presence felt. Finish on just a quick note on that discipline we were speaking about a while ago. It's the Bajans have won it.
There's a turnover there. They did well there to counter-rock against the Caymans. A little confusion there with the players.
Again, indecisiveness. Not a bad chip. This number 11 for Barbados seems to be hungry. He seems to want more. He seems to want to go forward. He seems to want to attack.
Ball seeming to take a deflection of the Cayman player there, so there'll be a line out to Barbados.
You know, I'd be very interested to see if the Bajans decided to move it through their hands with some good clean possession.
But they need to win it first at the line out. And they've done. The big player number 2 coming around for Barbados, gaining some yards. And they go to the blind side once more. The big number 8 against the prop. Oh, he kicks through. But he did not measure the dead ball area there, and it goes straight out.
Yes, Felician. Odd, a bit odd to see a number 8 put in a kick like that.
But as we've seen, the number 8s in this tournament thus far seem to have a very large skill set, as we have Mount Premier yesterday using his footwork and creating a try for his team in the BVI Turks and Caicos game.
Great. And we all know forwards can do other things.
Not just used to bang the ball up. High kick here, well taken. And the number 13 for Barbados. He's still going. Again. Barbados need quick ball here. And there's a penalty. Holding on to the ball here. And Cayman Islands tap quickly and go. There's very little support, so the Barbados team comes away with it at rock time.
And they've turned it over.
Oh, it's a nice step there by the number 10 for Barbados. He seems to be putting the gas on. Number 11. Oh, and it's try time!
And as I've said all along, Felician, once it's used.
And it's number 11, Nicholas Daniel, with the first try of the game. As we have it here, great pass there by the number 10, Jake Caddy.
And again, Felician, like I said, once they use it out wide, they're going to get the results. They have the speed. They seem to have the talent. Good work by the Bajans, bringing the score to 6 points to 5.
And we have the passage of play here. It's a great step there by Jake Caddy as he makes this run and finds Ryan Brown on the outside. Yes, Tim Caddy now trying to convert the try to add the extra 2 points. Not enough distance there, but a great kick nonetheless.
A little more power. So it remains 6 points to 5. Cayman Islands 6, Barbados 5. I think that was a well-worked try, Felician.
I do, and it shows the intent of Barbados to run at the Cayman team. The Cayman team will need to play a little closer, because it's clear that the Barbados team has them outnumbered for pace on the outside.
And I'm not sure if it's just me, but the Cayman forwards seem to me to be a bit spent.
I do agree with you there, Nicholas. They seem to... And the kick is taken.
Penalty to the Cayman Islanders. You saw the call, Felician?
I believe it's an offside call for the player in front of the player who knocked it on playing the ball. Which is a very tricky rule in rugby. So the player who knocks on the ball, if you are on his team, you are not allowed to play the ball if you are in front of him when the knock-on takes place.
Yes, and the Cayman Islanders opting to go for posts again. Going for that 3 points.
See Michael Peck setting up to take the kick again. Barbados need to be wary of these penalties that they are conceding in their half. As we said earlier, the 3 points do add up in the end.
Yes, they certainly do. And
another clean strike there by Michael Peck, adding another 3 points on.
So it's now 9 points to 5. Cayman Islands in the lead. Interesting game so far, Felician. I think that Barbados try certainly woke the Cayman Islanders up.
However, I do agree. We're seeing some of the Cayman player forwards being bent over very early in the half here. There's another high kick by Barbados. Great chase.
And another good tackle by the Bajans. Still in possession, Cayman Islands. Taken up by number 5.
And there's a knock-on in the contact.
And
Advantage
Barbados
to
should use it
Barbados.
wide again. And that they do.
Oh, what a lovely tackle by the number 12 there for Cayman Islands. And that's Liam Davies forcing the turnover. The knock-on by the Barbados player.
Again, good intent by the Bajans. They obviously seem to have realized that their options wide where their greatest strengths are.
Do you think that the player held it a fraction too long there?
Again,
Nicholas?
yes, I felt he had the opportunity to give it to the guy who was free. You know, get it up a little further.
And here we are for another scrum.
But let's not be too harsh. Felician, you remember being an under-19 player?
I do remember.
Trinidad?
I do remember.
What would you have done?
My pass might have come a fraction earlier, but the split second decisions are always difficult.
Oh yeah. Or we may have seen one of those famous drop kicks of yours.
It's quite true. It's quite true.
Okay, so we're here again at the Hazley Crawford Stadium in Trinidad and Tobago. Cayman Islands leading 9 points to 5.
The call there just now was the ball coming straight back out the scrum. So they are resetting. The put-in will still be Cayman ball.
Felician, remind me, who are the defending champions of the NACRA Under-19 tournament?
I believe Mexico won it last year.
I believe it is. I believe you're right. So Mexico is obviously going to be in for some strong competition this year. I think some of the participating teams from last year would have obviously done their homework.
And as you say, Mexico, one of the favorites to win the tournament, have been called in the group of death with the home boys, Trinidad and Tobago, and also with the newcomers to the tournament, USA South.
And USA South, I understand, getting the better of Trinidad and Tobago.
They did in the first game of the tournament.
And we're off again. It's a scrum. The Bajans are off again. Number 8 for Barbados. Again, powerful runner and almost there.
Almost a very good offload in the contact. However, it was knocked on by number 10. Jake Caddy.
And again, the diminutive Barbados number 10 just couldn't seem to get there in time. The Bajan number 8 is quite fast for his size, I would say.
He's having a good game. He's there making the tackles. He's there winning the rocks. And he's doing well breaking from the back of the scrum.
And I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, it's Cayman Islands put in.
It's a free kick here. I think the free kick is for an early drive by the Cayman team.
They seem intent on playing it. And it's up by number 2.
Cayman will need to be very cautious.
Not a very powerful drive, but still in possession.
Cayman will need to be very cautious this close to the line with their tackles, not wanting to concede any penalties and ensuring that the discipline is here.
And again, there's 1, 2, there's 4 guys out wide, screaming their heads off.
The Cayman team doing well here to tie the ball up in the maul. And as we all know, Nicholas, the rule states that if the team that takes in the ball is unable to produce it after 2 calls from the referee, is a turnover ball.
Yes, agreed, Felician. And again, the smaller Bajan forwards can't seem to contest the mauls with the Cayman Islanders. They're obviously bigger, in some cases stronger. So my advice to them would really be to get it out a lot faster. We had 4 guys on the outside screaming their heads off for the ball, and surely that could have been another try for the Bajans.
I do believe that creating the one-on-one situations for Barbados will be more fruitful than trying to take it up
definitely.
close.
So it's a scrum to Cayman Islands again, just outside there, just over their 5-meter line.
The Cayman Islanders need to be careful here with that
it's
drive,
wheeled.
and the scrum has been wheeled. It has been wheeled more than.
And
It's intentionally wheeled by the Barbados team, and so it's a penalty here to the Cayman Island team.
And again, Felician, if you look at the Cayman forwards, they don't seem up to it right now. They've been working very hard for the last 5-6 minutes, and they're glad for any rest they could get right now.
And it goes to the tactics and their strategy, because they've obviously opted to take the route of using the forwards to gain the yards and then trying to move it wide with the mismatches with the bigger players that they have outside.
Oh yes, definitely, and that obviously has kept them in the lead so far, so hats off to them.
Line out here, the throw now, Cameron Bridman for the throw, and it's won by the Cayman team. Michael Colin Flynn putting the ball high up in the air. The kick is returned by the fullback, Easton Caddy.
Was just kept in, was it kept in?
No, I think it went.
Seems a bit confused.
I think the call is.
Okay, and the referee has determined that it was knocked on somehow. Okay, so he's called a knock on.
I think because the ball was taken dead by a Cayman player, he's given the scrum out 5 to Barbados.
Brilliant assessment, Felician. I certainly didn't see that. So it's a Barbados put in.
It was a great chase also by the Bajan winger there to put the Cayman player under pressure.
Great attacking position. I'm sure the number 8 is going to get involved here.
And the ball is out. Number 9 trying to take it forward to ensure that he gains possession.
And he's taken out.
There will be a line out here now to Cayman Islands.
Again, I would have preferred to see the number 8 get involved in that one there. He's been menacing all evening. I think it would have been a good attacking position for him.
I do agree. Number 8 for Barbados being the captain, Conrad Edgar.
Conrad Edgar sounds like a star boy name.
Barbados opting not to contest the line out here and set the defensive line.
Certainly they'd be waiting for the kick.
And there's a counter rock here. Barbados trying to steal the ball at the breakdown. It goes.
Oh, and this should put them in a good attacking position.
And it's knocked on there by the play. By the number 14 for Barbados.
Felician, would you say poor technique or bad conditions?
I say he took his eyes off it at the last minute to see what option that was available to him. And in doing so, created a knock-on.
Yeah, certainly.
Conversation here between Mr. Darrell Wu and Michael Jones of Canada. It's very interesting since the development of the team of 3 in the game of rugby.
Okay, there seems to be some discussion regarding number 18 from the Cayman team. Number 8, playing the man without the ball.
So that will be a penalty here to Barbados. And this is one of the reasons the game has improved in its discipline with the team of 3, where it's a lot harder for players to get away with things that they usually would. And we see Mr. Edgar taking it forward here again. He does well to stay on his feet and gain some extra yards.
Barbados needs to look for quick ball now.
They still have it on the Barbados side. Cayman fighting hard to win the ball in the rock. And they've done so. And Barbados called for the entry at the rock, coming in from the side and not through the gate. Number 2, blue. Colin Flynn to try and find touch.
And he does so. Just a few minutes left in this half. Again, Cayman Island leads 9 points to 5.
The game is balancing on a knife edge at this point and can go either way. So the throw-in will be to Cayman Islands as touch was found from a penalty. Again, Barbados up not to contest. And Colin Flynn dummies before putting the kick out. Good pressure there by the Barbados team.
Good pressure by the Bajans again.
And as so doing, they have been rewarded with a line out within the 22 in a very good attacking position.
Yes, Felician, a good attacking position again. Let's see if they use the hands this time.
Cayman opting to contest at the line out, but is wonderfully taken at the back of the line. Well taken up there by the number 7. And Cayman have seemed to turn over the ball. Flynn again to try and find touch. And he does so, but just inside the 22.
Smaller guys on the Bajan team seem to be the ones wanting to take all their hard work. But inevitably it results in a turnover to the Cayman Islanders. Just under a minute to play.
I think the Cayman team will be welcoming this rest that will be coming at halftime. I think they'll be aiming to try and not concede before the end of the half, while Barbados will be trying to strike from this point. Advantage to Cayman Islands. It was not straight at the line out. Cayman Islanders trying to pick and go again. Oh, and it's knocked on in the contact.
Scrum to Barbados.
It's very interesting, the game of rugby. Even though the time may have expired, until the ball goes dead, the referee will not blow off the game.
Yes, another distinctive feature of the game of rugby. Games have been won. Games have been won by many teams in this time period.
Barbados surely want to use one of their tactical plays to try and create this mismatch here out wide for the very quick number 11, Ryan Daniel.
And it's the number 8, Mr. Edgar again.
Picking and going, giving them forward ball. Cayman Island opting not to contest the rock. It's a poor pass there in the contact. Oh, and it's knocked on.
Again, we see the penetration out wide, Felician, and Barbados not being able to convert from that position. This should be the last play of the half.
And it is a scrum to Cayman. In this position, Nicholas, being a scrum half as yourself, what options do you think are available to Mr. Peck?
Well, I would say based on the way the game is going, my first option would be to get it out to my backs and get it out as quickly as possible. We've seen where when they've moved it wide, the Cayman Islanders can't contend with the speed, so that would be my number 1 option.
I think Cayman Island is going to opt to find touch to bring in the half, but Barbados have won it against the head, and the scrum half picks and goes blind, but he loses it, but it has gone back. And the players tackle out in the touch, and that is the end of the first half.
Nice competitive half, Felician. The score again, 9 points to 5. The Cayman Islands leading here at the Hazley Crawford Stadium in Trinidad and Tobago.
Very competitive match. Very competitive match here between the two. We hope that they continue to do so in the second half. What do you think the coaches will be sharing with the players there, Nicholas?
Well, I'm sure, in fact, I hope that the Bajan coach would be appealing to his players to use their options out wide. Again, I've said it and I'll say it again, the Cayman Islanders can't seem to cope with the pace out wide. The forwards, the Cayman forwards, may have some more gas in them, but not much more. So they're going to have to maybe have a change in tactic, maybe use a few more strategic kicks to give their forwards a bit more rest. But certainly once they're up for it, they certainly can't keep the game away from Barbados.
All right, thank you, Nicholas. And we will be back with you in 10 minutes at the beginning of the second half.
Two, check. Yep. Yes. 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 Two.
second half of Cayman Barbados. We started over the kick.
And I remind you once again of that score. It's 9 points to Cayman and 5 to Barbados.
Barbados seem to be
off.
attacking aggressively here, going through the hands, trying to get it wide, but there's a knock on there, and
it's been
Cayman have
turned over.
capitalized.
It's a foot race to the line.
And it's Davies, the number 12 for Cayman Islands, and he goes over for the try. That's Cayman's first try for the game.
Good turnover.
We see the break here by Davies. He does well to evade the chasers and make it difficult for him to catch, and he crosses the line for the first 5-pointer for Cayman in this half.
Yes, good finishing by him. Good finishing by the center.
So we see that there is some pace in the Cayman backline after all.
Yes, there is Felician, and I stand corrected. I stand corrected. So now 14 points to 5. Cayman extend their lead.
As Cayman try to convert for the 2 points.
But Felician is always unfortunate when there's a turnover like that, and your guys have got to turn around and then start the chase.
Flynn with the kick, goes high in the air, and just wide to the right upright.
So the score remains at 14 points to 5.
It's always difficult coming out in the second half and conceding so early. What do you think will be the mindset of the Barbados players at this point?
Well, I'm hoping they're going to be thinking about erasing that from their minds and getting right back into whatever strategies were suggested by their coach.
Another high kick here by Barbados. Oh, and there's a knock on in the contact. Advantage to Barbados.
And again, we see Conrad Edgar taking it up hard.
No advantage coming from at that point. So the referee calls it back for the scrum for the initial knock on. Scrum down to Barbados.
Yes, Felician, you know, it's sometimes difficult to get your mind back into the game after the half. But if the Bajans don't get it right, they could be staring down some more points.
They have a great opportunity here now to strike back at the Caymans with this scrum just outside the 22. Cayman winning the ball there, but it came straight back out the tunnel.
The Cayman guys have seemed to come back out with a bit more intent. I'm a firm believer that body language tells a lot. You know, it's said that if you're watching a sport on television and you turn the volume down, you almost can't tell who's in the lead just by their body language. And Cayman certainly has that, in my opinion, right now.
I think the coach's talk at this point was very crucial in getting them refocused.
And it seemed to have worked.
Barbados seemed to win the put in this time, and it's a break by the number 9. He continues to drive forward as his players get behind him. Cayman trying to tap the ball here in the maul. As the Barbados players pile in to keep driving.
And I would have been very surprised if Barbados came up with the ball on that occasion. Again, they don't seem to realize that it's not a fair contest when the smaller guys are going up against the Cayman forwards. My recommendation would be to have one of your bigger guys take it up, one phase, and get it out to your backs.
I do agree with you there, Nicholas. They're putting themselves under unnecessary pressure by trying to take on the Cayman forwards up front.
So a change in strategy may be necessary for the Bajans.
As we see the Cayman team lining up.
Felician, what's the difference between Bajan and Barbadian?
There's no difference, Nicholas. They both mean the same thing.
So they're both correct.
Put in here by the Cayman team. Number 9 for Barbados needs to stay on side there. As Flynn lifts the kick high into the air, searching for touch, but only finds the number 15 for Barbados.
Easton Caddy.
As he runs it back in. Bajans need to do well here to keep it from going out into touch. As the Caymans seem to have set up another maul. Ball coming back slowly for Barbados as they move it wider. As the number 10 takes it right back in.
Encountering a bit of a red wall and changing his mind there.
Kick over here by Caddy.
And it's put into touch by the Cayman fullback.
The Barbados player opted to try and take the quick line out there, but however it touched the ball boy, so he was unable to do so as the law stipulates.
Yes, another unique law in the sport of rugby. I don't know if you'd care to further explain for our new viewers.
So the team who has the right to throw in the ball is allowed to do so quickly as long as it's not played by someone who is off the pitch, or as long as it does not go beyond the barrier and the line out is not full. Nice attempt there by the number 7 for Barbados. However, it's being called back here now. Seems to have been a knock on there at the line out. Scrum down to Cayman.
Yes, Felician, like I said, the Bajans seem a bit unfocused at this point.
And that is the trouble with conceding early in the half. It always seems like an uphill battle when you are the first to concede the try.
The Bajan captain, Conrad Edgar, would need to get his troops together, pull them in, have a little chat with them, get them hungry again.
Put in my number 9, Peck. Barbados player needing to wait till the ball comes out of the scrum.
Here we
So dummy
move
play
by the
there
Cayman Islanders.
as they try to move it
It's
by
out wide.
Davies. Goes to the number 13. As he gets it to the winger, we're going to see it. Oh, and it's well tackled there by the Barbados player.
Good tackle
Into
by the
touch.
Bajan winger. Number 10, sorry.
And the pass there to the number 11 for Cayman Islands. That's Mark Weston, but he's tackled into touch.
Felician, any particular players stand out in your mind in this match so far?
I think Peck's decision making for Cayman has been exceptional, and he's continued to be giving them the ball to go forward.
Yes, he does show some strategic intent.
Also on the Barbados team, we have the captain, Mr. Conrad Edgar. He's doing well at the breakdown. He's doing well tackling. He's doing well carrying the ball forward.
I believe that the Bajan outside half, Jake Caddy, also he has a lot of, should I say, intention. You can see he wants to go forward, he wants to attack. I suspect that the quality of possession that he's getting is sometimes on the back foot, sort of limits his options. But I would like to see him with the ball in space and see what he can do.
I do agree, Nicholas, I do agree. Some trouble here at scrum time.
The sun is back out. And I remind you of the score. It's 14 points to Cayman, 5 to Barbados.
The ref ensuring that the engagement is a safe one. He doesn't want the scrum to collapse and cause any injuries.
Scrum down, Barbados put in. Big shove by the Cayman Islanders.
The ball is out. Number 9 making the break. Conrad Edgar there, first player supporting. We have a forward picking from the back of the rock. Driving forward.
Barbados in possession still. But the Cayman Islanders don't really seem to be under much pressure.
As Conrad Edgar makes a break, driving up the field. Powerful legs going. Charging past the Cayman players. The ball goes wide and it's a kick
There could
over.
be trouble here.
Oh, and he finds touch. Just
A bit-
like you
a bit
said,
too long.
Nicholas, they're going to have to look to the boot in this part of the game to try and put Cayman on the back foot.
Yes, Felician.
Kick looked threatening for a minute there as it trickled out into touch.
Yes, the Bajan winger certainly looked hungry. He certainly looked ready and up for the challenge.
back three of Cayman will be very integral, which will be the two wingers and the fullback at this point if Barbados choose to go to the boot. Line out here.
Good take by the Cayman Islanders.
As they set the driving maul. And the ball's breaking off. Cayman still in possession.
Poor pass.
Flynn under pressure.
Good recovery by number 10.
As Barbados seem to counter-attack. The ball is lofted high into the air. Oh, and there's a knock on there by the number 15. As I was saying just now, as Barbados go to the boot, the back three, which is the number 11, number 14, and number 15 of Cayman, will be very, very, very hard pressed here. They need to get the job done, and they need to do so efficiently.
Nice position, and that little situation, that little encounter there, sort of puts you on his spot. Whoever makes the first mistake, which in this case was the Cayman fullback.
As we set for the scrum, we seem to have a player down for the Barbados team. As the referee stops the time.
I'd use this opportunity for this one to make a quick point that I started early on with regards to the discipline in rugby and the refereeing and players' respect for the referees. It's something that, you know, with the recent World Cup ending there, there's a clear difference between the two sports.
Yes, there's very little chatter back to the referee in terms of rugby as opposed to football.
And you would think on an international level and a tournament on a world stage, you know, the competing nations and the players would, you know, display a certain amount of respect towards the officials.
You would expect the professionals to act professionally.
Yeah, exactly. So again, rugby being a unique sport, it's not a big issue.
The referee's always right in our game.
And again, our man in the middle is Mr. Michael Jones of Canada, doing a great job, keeping things under control.
You see the Barbados coach there, walking around in the stands. Maybe a scrum down to Barbados after the knock-on by the number 15 of the Cayman Islands. We have the Cayman coach on screen right just now. There's a knock-on there by Mr. Cameron Edgar at the back of the scrum.
You've had an opportunity to play on this pitch, I would imagine, a number of times. How do you make out with the relatively small try area?
Well, as every coach that has coached me that I've played in this arena, they say, as you cross the line, you put down the ball. Do not risk being tackled out in the dead ball area.
Yeah, you might end up with some bruises as well.
As well. Yes, the track is very close. So you want to be wary of that. Scrum down here now to Cayman Islands.
Barbados needing to get back into the game.
Flynn using his right boot there. He gained some distance into touch. Oh, and it's played by the Barbados player.
It's being brought back.
And there seemed to be a yellow card there. The flanker playing the number 10 before.